Welcome to Terror Echoes. Prepare yourself for spine-chilling tales and eerie whispers from the darkest corners of the world. We dive into haunted legends, ghostly encounters, and macabre mysteries that will leave you sleepless. Today's story is called That Wasn't My Sister. So this is my first time ever writing anything like this, but I wanted to get some sort of closure for what I experienced when I was younger. For some context, we, my family and I, moved into our current house, and the house that this story takes place in, when I was like 3 years old. It is a 2-story building, completed sometime in the early 2000s. There are 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor. The master bedroom is to the left of this little walkway at the end of the staircase. Right next to it on the right was the room my younger sister and I used to sleep in when we were younger. The last room, which was meant to be used as my younger brother's room once he got older, was all the way at the end of the hallway. But that room always remained empty and was used as a storage room for the most part. When I was around 7 to 8 years old, I had developed this new schedule of after-school procrastination. I would shower and then sit on my parents' bed to watch PBS in my mom's bedroom. She had the biggest TV, and by far better graphics than the other televisions around the house at the time. It, being the TV, sat on top of a large drawer chest in front of her bed. My sister, who was a year and a half younger than me, would usually sit with me to watch whatever was playing. We particularly loved it when Curious George came on, so we would always be out of the shower and dressed by 3:50 at the latest, considering the show came on at 4:00. I'd never really felt anything off about the room, at least not when the sun was still out. But I always had this feeling about it once it became dark. It's a feeling I still get to this day as a 20-year-old. I just can't walk by it late at night without getting the heebie-jeebies. Something always felt off about it, especially when I was younger. I hated being upstairs by myself, even during the daytime. However, on this particular day, for whatever reason I was up there by myself. It was around October or November-ish, and as a result, they were playing an hour-long special for Curious George. I honestly can't remember whether it was the Halloween or Thanksgiving one, but it was a movie sort of special. All I know is that I loved it enough to sit up there by myself and watch it. I was at least a good 15 to 20 minutes in when I heard noise from outside in the hallway. I thought it was my sister, so I ignored it. At some point, my sister came in and proceeded to stand right in front of the TV. My sister had this annoying habit of standing in front of any big screen and blocking the view for everyone. And while she wasn't really blocking my view, I knew my mom hated it when she just stood there. She said it was rude or something along those lines. Although in that particular moment, I didn't care. There had been this scene that was particularly funny that my sister had missed a part of, only getting to watch the other half. I began to tell her what had happened before, proceeding to laugh, expecting her to laugh too. But I didn't get a response, which annoyed me a bit, so I proceeded to say the same thing again. Yet I still didn't get a response from her. She stood still, glancing at the TV, and away from me. Because I was on my mom's bed and the TV was right in front of me, all I could see was her back. The 3rd time I got no response, I grew irritated, yelling her name and telling her to stop ignoring me, to look at me. That's when she turned around, except it wasn't my sister. I mean, it looked like her, wearing the same clothes she'd been wearing earlier, same everything, but her eyes were off. All I remember was how unsettling the eyes were, being all pitch black. Not to mention the emotionless expression aimed at me. We both stared at each other for a while before it turned around and proceeded to walk out of the room. I was still a bit weary, but then I got really angry because I was just blatantly ignored. So I got up and also walked out of the room. I yelled for my mom, tattling that my sister had just ignored me and left me talking to her like an idiot. My mom's voice was confused as she yelled back that that couldn't be possible. My sister had been downstairs with her the whole time. I asked if maybe she had gone upstairs at some point and she just hadn't realized, but she said no. And even if she had, she would have heard the squeaking of the floorboards that are right by her room. I was baffled, but thought I had maybe been seeing things. Yet after that, I didn't feel comfortable being in that room by myself anymore, and instead decided to stay downstairs with my mom for a while. I've experienced other weird things that just can't be explained, but I often think about this one instance and wonder what it was that I talked to that day. If anyone has any idea or guesses as to what I could have been talking to, please let me know.